So many people preparing for a Mercor interview are, still following advice from a year ago.
Oh, yeah, which is a huge trap right now.
Right. But several things have actually changed on the platform.
A lot has changed, yeah. Very recently, too.
So today, our mission is to basically cut through all the noise.
And ignore the outdated rumor mill.
Exactly. We are focusing only on the verified updates to the 2026 Mercor AI interview process.
Because you really need the current facts.
Right. So we've gone straight to their official documentation, recent leadership statements, and actual platform updates to figure out how this all works today.
Getting the mechanics right is so crucial. The platforms have just evolved so fast.
They really have.
And the way they evaluate your expertise has had to adapt rapidly. So we're going to break down what the system expects from you, how to navigate their strict new policies, and how to actually structure your answers.
Yeah, let's start with the biggest foundational shift for 2026, because Mercor has completely overhauled its interview philosophy.
They really have. They've fundamentally changed what they're looking for when you sit down for a technical role.
And the most glaring change here is definitely the departure from the traditional take-home assignment.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, for a long time, the standard practice was just to hand you a complex project.
Give you a weekend to work on it.
Right. And then evaluate your submitted code. But those days are essentially over in their direct hiring pipeline.
Because product leadership basically explained that those unsupervised tests have lost their signal value, right?
Exactly. With advanced language models today, anyone can prompt their way to a flawless weekend project.
Yeah, it doesn't tell a company if you actually have the skills.
Right, or if you're just, highly proficient at querying an AI.
So instead of evaluating a final product you generated over a weekend, they've pivoted to watching your brain work in real time.
Yes, a massive emphasis on real-time reasoning.
It's basically exactly like a math teacher asking a student to show their work on the whiteboard, rather than just handing in the final answer. Oh, that is a perfect way to look at it.
Right. The process is what proves you actually understand it.
Yeah, the whiteboard analogy is spot on.
But that actually brings up a really interesting tension.
Oh, the AI tools policy. Yeah. I mean, Mercor is an AI company running AI interviews, but because they need to see how you think, they've had to draw some incredibly strict boundaries.
Very strict boundaries, yeah.
Okay.
Feels a bit like a paradox.
Right, on what kind of tools you can even use while you're taking the interview.
But their 2026 LLM usage policy is actually quite specific.
Yeah, let's get into that.
So they haven't implemented a blanket ban on AI tools, which is a common misconception.
People think it's completely forbidden.
Right, but you are allowed a very specific scope of limited assistance.
Okay, so let's define limited based on the actual documentation. What are you allowed to do?
You're permitted to use AI tools for checking your grammar, refining your wording, or making subtle adjustments to your tone.
Okay, so basically utilizing it as a highly advanced spell checker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you write out a structural outline for your answer and want to ensure the phrasing is clean before you speak, that's acceptable?
But polishing is the absolute limit.
Correct. The prohibited list is where they draw a hard line. You cannot use AI to generate your interview responses.
Right.
You can't use it to solve the technical questions
Right.
or explain concepts to you during the assessment.
Or write the actual code.
No, definitely not.
Okay, but here's where I kind of have to push back a little on how realistic this is.
Fair enough.
Because picture a candidate sweating under the pressure of a ticking clock, right? They're trying to structure a complex answer about neural networks.
Yeah, it's stressful.
How are they supposed to navigate that incredibly fine line between refining wording and generating an answer? I mean, if an AI rewrites a clunky sentence to make it sound smarter, hasn't it just generated part of the response?
I know, it's a very blurry boundary when you're in the hot seat. But based strictly on their published rules, it comes down to the origin of the thought.
The origin of the thought.
Right. Their goal is to preserve your authentic voice.
Yeah.
If the core idea or the architecture of the solution comes from the AI, you cross the line.
Okay, I see.
But if the blueprint is 100% yours and you're just smoothing out the syntax, you're within the rules. The substance must originate from you.
So the thought has to be completely homegrown.
Exactly.
But naturally, the immediate follow-up question every candidate asks is, well, if someone decides to test those boundaries, how does Mercor actually catch them?
Right, and we have to be absolutely crystal clear on this point. Mercor has not publicly explained how they detect AI use.
which, of course, hasn't stopped the internet from creating wild conspiracy theories.
The forums are full of them.
Yeah, people are convinced the platform is running like micro-expression facial analysis or keystroke logging.
Or complex semantic tracking, yeah. The rumors are everywhere.
Everywhere.
But we are not going to speculate on their internal detection methods because the official documentation simply does not disclose them.
We only deal in facts here. So the safest and really the most strategic play for you is to just follow the published guidelines.
Yes. Rely entirely on your own expertise.
And following those rules is so critical now because getting flagged or even just, having a mediocre performance carries a much heavier penalty than it used to.
It really does. The stakes are incredibly high now.
Because that single interview is locked in.
Yeah, the updated reuse policy is arguably the most impactful change to their whole ecosystem.
So walk us through the logistics of that. How does the one interview across multiple applications rule actually synchronize?
Basically, each unique AI interview only needs to be completed once.
Okay.
So if you apply for multiple positions on the exact same track, let's say 3 different roles requiring a general software engineering assessment,
Right.
your completed application steps automatically synchronize across all of those eligible applications.
Wow. I love the efficiency of not having to repeat the same basic 20-minute technical screening 3
It
times.
saves a ton of time. This naturally leads to people panicking.
Oh, for sure. People worry that a single missed keyword means automatic rejection forever.
Right, but again, we need to enforce a strict boundary on the facts here.
What do the docs actually say?
While the synchronization and reuse policy is confirmed in writing, Mercor has not publicly explained their exact matching algorithm.
Right.
They haven't disclosed their scoring systems or how they rank candidates or the specific rules that trigger an automatic rejection.
So anyone online claiming to know exactly how the algorithm filters you out is just totally guessing?
It is pure speculation. All we know for sure is that your most recent completed attempt is what the system retains and uses.
Okay, so because that single interview carries so much weight, any rational candidate is going to want to do a dry run first.
Of course.
But if you log into Mercor expecting to use their old practice environment, you are going to hit a wall.
Yeah, the practice environment has been a major point of confusion lately.
Because it changed, right?
It did. If you're looking for the traditional mock interview feature that they used to promote so heavily, you'll find it's been officially deprecated.
It's just gone from the main interface.
Yeah, it's no longer available there. But if you dig into their current support pages, they definitely still mention a practice interview link.
Right, a link that candidates are supposed to be able to take freely without it affecting real applications.
Exactly. And that's where the friction is. Because the documentation changed recently and currently contains conflicting references.
So the actual practice experience you see might differ entirely depending on your specific account.
Or just where you are in the rollout of their latest update.
Okay, so we're just going to acknowledge that this discrepancy exists.
Right. We aren't going to guess why the old system was pulled down.
Or why the support pages are in transition. The practical takeaway here is just you can't rely on the platform providing a built-in sandbox for you right now.
No, you really can't. Which means your preparation strategy has to pivot.
You have to shift to offline preparation before you even think about hitting that start interview button.
You have to be completely ready before the camera turns on.
Let's get into the mechanics of that preparation then. I want to separate this into 2 buckets.
Okay, sounds good.
First, the strict official guidance straight from Mercor, and second, the general tactical advice for speaking to an AI. Let's knock out the official technical rules first.
So the technical setup is rigid. According to the documentation, you must use the latest version of Google Chrome.
Good to know.
You also need to be in a quiet, distraction-free environment, and you must have a government ID ready for identity verification.
Before you can even launch the session.
Exactly.
Okay. We don't need to dwell on standard IT checklists. Anyone taking a remote tech interview knows they need a working mic and a quiet room.
Right. That's pretty standard.
But there is a specific official rule buried in their documentation about retakes, and it feels like a massive strategic advantage.
Oh, the retake policy is incredibly valuable. You are officially allowed up to 3 retakes per interview type.
Across all of your applications.
Yeah.
So it's not a one strike and you're out situation if your internet suddenly drops.
No, it acts as a necessary safety net for hardware or connection failures. But you're right, it's also a strategic lever.
How so?
Well, if you get halfway through your first attempt and realize your baseline technical explanations were sloppy, you can literally just reset the interview from your dashboard.
Yeah.
You can use your second attempt to lay down a much stronger baseline. Just keep in mind, The new attempt completely replaces your previous submission.
Okay, that makes sense. So that covers the official rules. Let's move to the second bucket, which is the actual content of your answers.
The fun part.
Right. How do you structure your speech so that an AI model scores you highly? And it basically starts with your resume, right?
It all revolves around the resume. This isn't just a generic bank of standardized questions.
Okay.
The AI interviewer acts as an autonomous agent. It generates role-specific questions dynamically based on the resume document you fed into the system.
Meaning you have to be ready to defend every single bullet point.
Every single one. If you wrote on your resume that you optimized a database to reduce latency, the AI is likely going to ask you to unpack the specific architecture you used.
And probably the alternative trade-offs you considered too.
Yes, and the exact metrics you used to measure that success. You really need to review your own technical history deeply.
Be ready to discuss the granular details of literally anything you claimed on paper.
Exactly.
And when you're delivering those granular details, the structure of your answer matters just as much as the content, doesn't it? Well, we've covered a tremendous amount of ground today on how these systems are operating in 2026. Let's pull it all together and basically summarize the verified facts.
Sure. So to recap the confirmed updates, first, Mercor's evaluation philosophy has fundamentally shifted toward real-time reasoning and live problem solving.
Rendering the old unsupervised take-home tests largely obsolete.
Right. Second, they have established strict boundaries on AI assistance. Using tools to refine your grammar is permitted, but generating the substance of your answers is strictly prohibited.
Got it.
Third, your completed interview is now synchronized across all eligible applications on a specific track, making your performance in that single session highly leveraged.
Yep.
And finally, with the practice features currently in transition, your best strategy is robust offline preparation, securing your hardware, mastering your resume, and delivering tightly structured, I-focused answers.
Perfect. If you found this helpful, check out our Mercor interview workbook linked below. And if you'd like us to cover another AI hiring platform, let us know in the comments. Thanks.